Welcome to PPUTV, and we are starting off the new year with a whole brand new series. I am bringing it back to basics once again, where we are focusing on makers. And I thought, what a better way to launch this series with Monarch Lacquer and Beaux Rêves. And these two, if you did not know, if you're new to Polish Pickup TV, they are, or PPU in general, I should say, they are the headquarters, for lack of better words. So let's all welcome Sarah and Adrian of Polish Pickup as our
Hi.
first interview.
Hello. Yes, thank you for having us as the first guest.
I'm super geek. This is so exciting. So we're just gonna just do some real quick just questions and whatnot. Of course, if the audience have any additional questions or anything, you can feel free to leave a comment on the video, and I'll take a look and see if we can have any additional answers or anything like that. So I want to know, as somebody who got into nail polish because I was just struggling postpartum and stuff, and I really wanted something to make me feel pretty. What was y'all's story? How did y'all, and especially because if you didn't know, as the audience, those of you who are new, you didn't know, Adrian and Sarah did have a brand, Fair Maiden, and they launched it together. It was amazing. And then of course now we got, as we call it, the divorce happening. But it's so admirable, right? So anyways, I think it's so cool that there's two of you, right? And so can you explain, I guess both of you, how that kind of came around?
Sure. I can start. I've always been into getting my nails done, and so I've always had a appreciation for nail polish. And it was actually Sarah that came to me. She had kind of started dabbling in the world of indies, and she brought the idea to me. And maybe Sarah, you can talk a little bit about how you discovered indies.
Well, it was one of those days on Facebook, and I ended up in a julep group. Of course, julep was all the rage back in 2014. And, I had been home with my son for a couple of years, and I'd really missed Adrian. And, we'd been best friends since we were 15, and it was something I thought would be fun for us to just play around with and have a chance to hang out together and do something fun. So I brought the idea to her, and she thought it was fun. It wasn't a business idea at first. It was just, let's hang out and play with colors. And
we kind of had to create a new path in our friendship, because it was like we had to grow from being kids to being teenagers to being young adults, where you're out partying and at the bars, and then all of a sudden you're married and a mom, and we're like, how do we navigate this side of our friendship? And so that was the idea, and it kind of forced us to hang out at least once or twice a week, and it was fun. It was just
fun,
a reason to, right? yeah, it was just a reason to hang out, an excuse. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I can feel that. It's like as soon as you're the first one in your friends group to have a kid or something, and suddenly it's like,
yes,
you feel really alienated. Yeah. I definitely get that. For me,
kind
it was
of
Pinterest.
Alone. Yeah.
What was the creative process like as you eventually transitioned into, hey, we're going to start a brand, we're going to do this, and it's going to be a thing for us? How is it, did y'all ever butt heads for a collection or something? I guess that's is there a little bit of tea there,
maybe some hurt feelings every now and then. But I think for the most part, we really did respect each other's vision and whatever we were creating. And, if it didn't work, and if we were planning a collection and it was a color we didn't think would work, we'd kind of just say, let's hold off on this, or let's build off of it too, know? And we would have our own styles, and we would kind of merge them together, but in a way where I felt it seemed pretty seamless. And we would really struggle sometimes just to make sure that we were happy with what we had.
For sure. And I think we kind of fell into this groove where we had the idea of what the theme was for our collection, and we would both, sometimes we would say, okay, you work on the warmer colors, I'll work on the cooler colors. Sometimes it just kind of naturally happened, and we would both be creating prototypes, and then we'd be like, okay, let's see what we've got here. And we would, shove all of our polishes into the middle of the table, and we just kind of play around with what color palette looked the best together. And, sometimes 4 would be hers and 2 would be mine. It wouldn't always be even. It would just be what we agreed upon that would look the best and was the most cohesive.
I think that's really cool. I don't think there's a lot of people who can really sit there and say, I was okay with this, and it, I'm okay with it not being half and half, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that's just a compliment. That's kudos to y'all, because I just feel like that's a recipe for.
I do think that is a secret sauce for us. We're very open with each other, and I think we know when we can push each other's buttons, and we don't need to get to that point in these kind of situations.
Right. We can set our egos aside and actually objectively look at something and say, no, these are the better polishes. This is what needs to happen. Yeah. Sometimes I'm off, sometimes she's off, and the other one is just bringing it, and that's okay.
Yep.
Well, anybody watching, I'm taking applications for a best friend, because listen,
you won't find one as good as mine.
I miss it now, though, because sometimes I'll be in a total creative rut and I'll be like, oh my God, it's not happening, but Sarah and I still do work together. We work right across the table from each other. So we're still there to lean on each other and give each other advice and inspire with ideas. So that's nice.
It is very nice. Very nice.
That's amazing. If y'all don't mind, I would love to throw up a photo, of course, post-production, but I'd love to throw up a photo of what does that space look like? Sure. It's just mind-boggling to me. Again, like, I mean it in a full compliment. Like, I just, what a freaking cool thing, I guess. I don't know. I'm
imagining it right now, and I know it's a huge mess.
I have a picture for this. I knew we would be asked.
Good.
I'm imagining like the Sarah side is like super messy, and then Adrian's side is like.
Oh, thank you. I love that. Let's go with that.
Adrian has gotten a little messier, I will say. I've always been the messy one, but I'll look over and be like, it's working over there.
I don't know. You and I both are kind of a mess. We compete for that title.
Right now, it's a little. It's been since before Christmas, I think, since we've done anything to clean. So
it's art, though. I feel like if it's not art. If you're creating, if it's not super messy, it's like, are you actually doing the thing?
Right. Yeah. Right.
So that brings me. Speaking of that. I have to ask, and I know a lot of collectors would like to probably know too. As Fair Maiden, before y'all split off, what was both of your favorite polish? And it doesn't have to be one that you made per se for a collection. In fact, interestingly enough, it would be interesting if it was what somebody else, one that the other person made.
Well, okay, I'll tell you my favorite that I made and my favorite that Sarah made.
Aw.
Okay. So my favorite was Heart X3 from the Grinch collection. It was the sparkly, glittery, jellyish red one.
Yes.
And my favorite one of Sarah's is a toss-up between Zero Gravity and
deep cut.
that Clarice one that you did for PPU, and I can't think of the name of it right now. What was that?
Oh my gosh. I can't remember the name either. Hello, Clarice, maybe it was?
Yeah.
Hello, Clarice. I think that's what it was.
I loved that one.
Thanks. For me, I think my favorite that I've made for Fair Maiden was Fortnite for PPU, right? And Adrian's, gosh, you've made so many good ones. I think maybe the Cinderella one for PPU that you did, that really light purple.
Oh,
I always think about that one. I don't remember the name of it.
Happily Ever After.
Happily Ever After?
I think. Yeah.
Who made the Taylor Swift
beautiful
one?
Probably
Sarah.
me. Which one?
Sarah.
Oh,
for sure. Sarah, I think.
The blue-green one, I think.
It's a blue.
I think it was Wildest Dreams.
Yeah.
It was
make that one.
It's like a dusky type of blue, but there was like a purple shift. Oh, so pretty.
I did love that one. That was a good one.
So good. So what is your favorite? Y'all know where the segue to this one is going to be. What's your favorite polish from Monarch and Beaux Rêves? And feel free to say that you have a favorite from the other brand too.
We love all of Adrian's basics. I'll tell you that. Yeah. I am piling them up over here.
I haven't launched those yet.
Well, like the top coat. I love the top coat. So
I can think of the colors in my head, but I don't know the names of them.
Yeah, so now we don't have to know each other's polish names.
So okay. What was the one that you did that was like the super light peachy orange? It was with your spring collection.
Oh, can for yes.
Yeah, that is a good one. That one.
Did you?
That one and the light pink one, like those two were just.
Oh wait, Morocco was the orange one, and Con was the pink one.
So I liked both of those.
I didn't know that's how you said it, and I remember somebody over on my channel was like, "That's not how you say can. It's can," and I was like, "Oh."
I say it probably incorrectly sometimes too. Okay. I don't pronounce the S. I know better than that, but
I just read from a screen. That's all I do.
Yeah, I know.
What's your favorite one?
My favorite of Beaux Rêves is Bonne Nuit, my signature color.
Mm-hmm.
I just love that blue and the green flash and the gold reflectives. And your colors, God, you make such good ones. And there's that one, and I think it's from your original core collection, and it's purpley and it's pink and
the jewel wing.
Yes, jewel wing. That one's my favorite.
That's funny. I was actually gonna say that too.
Were you?
Yes.
It's just so pretty whenever I see it. I want that and I want to put it on. I don't have one, so
hint, you don't?
Oh, no.
Well, feel free to steal one whenever.
I was gonna say, is that an invitation?
Right? We're always in each other's stuff over there.
Okay, so since she said jewel wing, I'll say Flight of the Monarchs, just because I think it's all encompassing of my brand and it's just a fun one.
Yeah,
it's a jelly orange with the orange gold, green flakes, and black mini flakes. It's kind of just looks like a monarch.
It does.
You did that one really well. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll throw up swatch pictures too up here as the conversation goes, so people can see, and they can hopefully get dirty enabled, because if you haven't tried out these two brands, I don't know where you've been, but there you go. So I know as the audience, you all are wondering, you want some PPU stuff. I want PPU stuff. I mean, who doesn't, right? So I kind of coordinated these next couple of questions to answer some of those things and just give a little bit of behind the scenes of what all encompasses, because that's what you're here for. You're watching PPUTV, and I want to give you a little bit of an inside scoop, because what an opportunity, right? So I want to just, I guess, remind the audience. We've said it on this channel in the past, how this kind of idea came about, but I would love to hear it from both of your mouths, for lack of better words.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of new people, and it just PPU just continues to keep growing and growing and growing. And I know, just as one of the admins in the Facebook groups, it is so exponentially huge. So I know there's a lot of people tuning into this that don't really know. And so can we kind of get like, what was like the behind the scenes thing? Because I know what was happening when I was first exposed to it, but I want to hear from you.
Yeah. So it kind of came to mind during a time where boxes were a huge thing. And it was, there was usually a maker in charge of a polished box that was 3 to 4 polishes. And it really, to me, it kind of started to become a problem because the buyers didn't always want all of the polishes in the boxes. And they were doing these huge splits where, there would be 3 people going in on a box. And it kind of seemed almost borderline ridiculous. I'm like, there has to be a better way to approach this. Why don't we just try a box where there's options, where you don't have to buy all of the offerings in the box? And so it kind of it was born on a really small scale. And then it was kind of like, well, why do we have to keep it at 4? Can't we try, how many can we, what's the max we can accommodate? And when we started, we actually had 19 makers, and I'm like, that was pretty cool. And it was pretty easy to accommodate that. And it obviously grew from there. I don't know if Sarah, if you have anything to add to that. That was a high level overview.
I definitely think we did not expect it to grow to the size that it grew to, or to have the kind of maker buy-in on a project like that. It almost seems like it's so many people involved, and how can you do this? But we added a little bit at a time, and it just really did work well, and better than I think we thought it would.
It did. And then we got to a point where we had a little bit too much, and we were like, whoa, we need to pump the brakes a little bit and focus on why we're here. It's indie nail polish. And so we kind of had to cut a lot of the non-it polish just to kind of wrap our arms around it again, so to speak.
I think at one point it was like 100 and over 140, I think.
Yeah. Some months would be, probably about 150 to 160, I'd say at the most.
Yeah, it was a lot.
We had a lot. So we started the shipping and packing process in my former home's basement, and it was a lot smaller than where we are at now. So
it not only, it was a room, but it was like the size of a closet. It was so small.
And we took the maker's boxes and we put them just kind of on the floor and alphabetical order, or some order that we had it in. And
I don't even know that we were that organized at the time.
And we just packed and put them in their little baggies and sent them off. And we kind of outgrew the space quickly, I'd say within,
we eventually took over your entire basement. You didn't have like a family room down there anymore. No. We took it all over. There was bins everywhere.
Stuff everywhere. The mail person hated me.
Yeah, that was bad.
And it was fun. We
didn't schedule pickups. Remember, we would put them on huge IKEA bags, and we drive to the airport post office every day.
Every day.
Winter, summer, whatever it was. It was, but we had a good time down there. It was fun.
So it was just the two of you, right?
It was just the two of us. Yes.
It was just the two of us for at least 2 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then we finally decided that we could afford to rent a small space. Very, very cheap rent. I wish we had that rent still.
Still good.
And we could afford to hire one person.
And we were in a building with a post office, which was amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That really saved us, I think. And
I guess
at that time,
that's just surprising to me, because I guess I just had it in my head that, it was like, oh, it just, it kicked off like that. And then in 3 months, that was it. But like the idea that it was, y'all did that bust bottom work for 2 years is.
Yeah.
Well, and then we stayed in the shipping process all the way until, was it 2020 or 2021 maybe?
About 2020, 2021. Yeah. But we've been lucky to have such good shipping help. They have been amazing. They are just lovely.
It kind of got to a point too where we had to fire ourselves because we were making a lot of mistakes.
we were the problem, and we had to see ourselves out. At that point, it's a lot of, I remember in the process, you're seeing the names and you're seeing them over and over again, and after like an hour or two, your brain is on autopilot and you're just grabbing stuff. And we got to a point where we knew so many names of so many things, and we just were a danger to ourselves. So
stay out of the shipping room.
Yeah. So we got out of the shipping.
That's amazing. So I'm curious, how many shippers do we have now?
Gosh, right now, 5 or 6, I would say.
Yeah, we just lost one. So I think we're actually down to 7.
Oh, we have 7. Okay.
Yeah. We just have 2 very part-timers.
Oh, yeah.
I would say the bulk of the shipping is done by 3 people.
So on, just to like put the perspective for the audience, this is a core team of shipping people. And each month, on average for orders, there's 4,000 orders, you would say? 5,000?
Probably 4 to 5.
A little more than that. Yeah. Usually around 5.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That is so huge.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It is. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Oh, I think you're coming up with a question, so I'm going to be quiet.
I was just going to say that it's, I don't know. It's always, I think as a consumer myself, it is very easy to get into the mindset of, this massive working machine.
Yes.
But when you really think about it in the grand scheme of things, it's like, it's a small core of people that's doing this.
Yeah.
And it's that makes it even more mind-boggling to me.
Right.
So shippers, thank you if you're watching this.
They are amazing. We love you.
They are very, very amazing.
That's awesome. That many packages is like, I'm thinking about it from like my blog sales, and
it's crazy.
Yeah.
You walk in sometimes and there's like 500-600, in bins, and it's like, oh my God, and that's just half a day's work right there.
Yeah.
I think that it's I don't know. It's just really cool too, because just how many people, are united by this is like, it's just mind blowing.
It is.
Very cool. And it's amazing.
If you could kind of alter the vote, I guess, for the theme, what would you have it? What's your dream theme? Like, if you could just have like a hall pass and just be like, I don't care. What is it?
Oh my God. I don't know. I do love a theme where there can be many different interpretations on the theme. So it's not so, just one note, like I kind of think masquerade, for one, can kind of be a one note. But something where it's just a little more open and you can have different, interpretations just of what that theme means to you. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I like those months. I like revisiting old themes that we've done, like folklore, fables and folklore was fun to do again. And
that's always a good one. And I know it's like overdone, but 90s is always so fun.
That's such a good one too. Under the Sea. I like a good Under the Sea.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Well, we have upcoming is Under the Microscope, and I'm hoping we see some. I mean, I think that's kind of broad, we can get some.
It is. It is. Yeah, it definitely is. And I think what we've seen are some really fun colors in the maker group. So they're looking good.
Okay. Sure. Well, I'm not gonna keep y'all much longer. I really appreciate you all, both of you, joining me for this.
Of course.
And again,
thank you.
Anybody who is wanting to, if you have any more questions or anything, I know I'll be looking at the comments for this video. And if there's anything I can address or, answer, This was super cool and amazing. Also, if you have any other makers that you would like to be my victims on Zoom, let me know. And I will do my best to see who I can wrangle into this meeting with me. Polish pickup is open on the first Friday of every single month. We have wish listing is on the Sundays before that if you want to check it out. In the description box for this video, I'm going to have all of the Polish pickup information if you want to join any of it, and including the theme stuff. If you want to get in and vote on yours, you have to get into our Facebook group, the main one, which I'll have all of this broken down there. Again, Adrian, Sarah, some of my favorite people in the community. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you, Trisha.
Really Thanks, Trisha. And thank you for hosting PPUTV.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and just sign out. So thank you all for watching so much, and we will see you all later.